Welcome back. Well, Donald Trump's tariff deadline is just hours away from coming into effect, with uncertainty on whether Australia is facing a new baseline duty of up to 20%. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is Independent MP Dai Le and ALP President Wayne Swan. Good morning to you both. Dai, let's start with you. No word yet on whether we will be subject to those high tariffs from the US. The PM has done little to reassure the public because, frankly, he doesn't actually know. What do you make of this watch and wait strategy?
Look, I think obviously the issue is that Trump is still not having a meeting with the Prime Minister, first of all. But I think with the whole tariff thing, I think we have to really be strategic and remain obviously very flexible and not having this kind of lock-in approach. And I think Australia has done that. And we just have to ensure that there are some policies around protecting our local manufacturers and producers, through through a proper maybe grants, procurement, and all that stuff. But look, this is going to be, Trump is unpredictable. This is going to continue on, but we need to decide and also diversify our markets as well, and not rely on just one country, I suppose.
Yeah, and of course, comparatively, our 10% currently tariffs are really not that bad compared to other nations across the globe. But if it does increase to 15 or 20%, that's the issue, Wayne, isn't it? I mean, we've rolled over on beef. We've given Trump basically everything he wants, but he still hasn't met with the PM, despite 20 other world leaders multiple times. How can we expect
that is not the issue?
Yeah, but what the issue is, Wayne, is that there is no relationship, it would seem, right now between the two.
Well, that's just not right. It's crazy to jump at shadows. They have had conversations. Our officials have met. We've got the best deal in the world so far. So it's crazy to jump at shadows. Well, how do you know that? We have been bargaining with the United States, and we've got the best deal, and we know that because there have been conversations with the Prime Minister. So it's not true to say that. But this is the way Trump operates. He puts people off balance. He does it all the time. He even does it to his friends. He even does it to his family. So we just shouldn't be jumping at shadows. We'll see what happens in the next 24 hours.
I just think seeing what happens when it comes to Trump, as you've just exactly said, he's so uncertain. So seeing what happens doesn't necessarily bode well.
That's right.
There's also uncertainty around AUKUS, obviously, which this morning Spy Chief Mike Burgess is warning has become the target of foreign agents. He says foreign spies have, quote, a very unhealthy interest in the AUKUS submarine deal. Does that alarm you?
Can I say I have been very concerned with the whole AUKUS deal from the beginning, from our first term, the money that we're spending on that, on a technology that I don't think is going to exist in about 20 years. Secondly, I think if the US talked about reviewing AUKUS, and I think we should review our position on AUKUS and look at other ways of actually protecting and defending Australia. So I think it is something that we need to really assess at this point in time. If that is, if that's what facing unprecedented espionage problem, maybe that's a good reason to really assess everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to be vulnerable in that space, that's for sure. All right, let's move on now. And Treasurer Jim Chalmers says our recognition of Palestinian statehood is simply a matter of when, not if. That's despite warnings from the Trump administration it could threaten trade talks. When our relationship with Trump is already in the toilet, we may as well do what we want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I think we should
our
be
relationship
independent.
with Trump isn't in the toilet, so we'll go back to that. But look, this is a very important point. In the past, even in Israel, governments of the left and the right have supported a Palestinian state. So it's not a radical step, but it's an important step.
Why
because
haven't
it's
we
the
done
only
it
way
then
this matter's going to be
Wayne?
resolved.
I'm just curiously.
Well, because of Hamas, and when Hamas gives their hostages back, real progress can be made from an Australian perspective. But you can't use hunger as a weapon of war. And the current Israeli government is a government of extremists, and that's the problem.
Yeah, this would obviously die following the steps of the UK and Canada. Is it, as Chalmers says, just a matter of when?
Look, you know what? I think politicians, and we talk about two-state solution constantly, and we're sidestepping the issue that in order to have a two-state solution, Palestine has to be recognised. Just, it's just like a marriage, and in a marriage, you just can't not acknowledge the existence of the other partner. So really, for everybody talking about, yes, we acknowledge we want two-state solution, but to have a two-state solution, we must first recognise Palestine. And in order to do that, we need to then, of course, talk about border security and everything. And that has been a long process, as you can imagine.
All right, guys, just before I let you go, just making sure you've put your Logies votes in for our Ali Langdon to claim one of these on Sunday. Gold Logie. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not too late. It's not too late. We wish her well. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, go Ali. The team, the Today Show team, is standing by with